Council gives final approval for a temporary shelter village in a location that's received little public attention until now. Good evening, I'm Ryan Bonazzo. Thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay City Council has officially chosen a site on 8th Avenue for the village. This after Council voted not to ratify the Miles Street location that had been approved in principle a week earlier. Justin Hardy was at City Hall last night and joins us in studio now. Justin, why was this last-minute change made?
Ryan, there's been a lot of back and forth on the issue. Exactly where to put the temporary shelter village has been a hot topic of debate for not only council, but for the community at large. And no site has been more controversial than the one on Miles Street. While it's near a number of key social services, many in the community were concerned that the village would interfere with the revitalization of the area. So instead, council pivoted to a site that hadn't been widely discussed. It was a long and winding road, but council has now given final approval for a temporary shelter village, not at the controversial Miles Street location that had already been approved in principle, but to what's known as the Hilliard site in a largely commercial area next to the off-leash dog park on 8th Avenue off of Central.
This is a compromise, right? This is not what everyone around the table wanted, but I think this will garner more than a 7-6 split, this decision. And in site selection, it's important. I mean, usually the best decisions are a blend of administrative and political knowledge.
There was very little public engagement on this site, with most of the blowback focused on the Miles Street location that council was expected to ratify on Monday evening.
Do you really believe that this is the place to put the temporary housing near Victoria Avenue and also near Shelter House, which is overburdened and in an area where alcohol and drugs are a problem?
Not even a last-minute amendment from Mayor Ken Boshkoff, directing city staff to review the effects of the village and report back in 2 years, could push the Miles Street location over the finish line.
I know that loud and clearly, 9 out of 10 people do not want it on this site, but there's something that must be done. And so I look forward to the debate, and let's see.
In the end, even Boshkoff himself voted down his amendment before council turned its attention to Hilliard.
The majority of people, unfortunately, that are living underhoused right now are Indigenous. And Indigenous healing, does it not come around nature, the chosen areas that people have chosen?
While it's not a recommended site by our administrators, I believe it's a political middle ground that we are achieving as a council, and we will direct our administration as we see is best for the community.
It was approved 9-4 with councillors Hamilton, Johnson, Folds, and Gertuga as the dissenting votes. Even some who voted in favor say they felt forced into the decision, given the risk of losing funding from senior levels of government.
I mean, the mover came with 4 pages typed out, ready for this argument, and I had zero clue this was coming. Normally we get a heads up or an amendment that, you know, this is coming. And talk about moving too fast. I mean, that logic is just, it's my neck hurts because the whiplash on this.
I know that tomorrow we are going to be in a massive deficit of public trust over this decision, over this whole process. And I'm fine if council wants to go in and, you know, it really feels like we're throwing spaghetti on a wall. We're just hoping to kind of get something done. In my mind, I can't support this.
The Hilliard site approval vote is now final, and the shelter village will be built there unless city staff discover previously undisclosed barriers to developing the property, or there are overwhelming objections from the public. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
A Thunder Bay man is now facing murder charges related to a violent incident earlier this month in which the victim later died. Thunder Bay police say he was originally charged with aggravated assault. Police were called to the area around Van Norman and Jean Streets on the evening of July 3rd, where officers found a seriously injured man at the scene. The 27-year-old victim was rushed to hospital and died on July 16th. The accused, 34-year-old Billy Moscotewanin, was rearrested yesterday and charged with second-degree murder. He's appeared in court under this new charge and remains in custody pending a future court date. More traffic changes are now in place around a busy intersection near Thunder Bay's waterfront as construction on the latest roundabout begins. The overpass to Marina Park has been closed to all vehicles until October. Jaden Billick has the story.
Construction crews are working hard on the next phase of construction on the city's newest roundabout at Cumberland and Water Streets. The project, budgeted around the $4 million mark, now includes the full closure of that entire intersection, including the Marina Park overpass. Thunder Bay Senior Project Engineer Brian Newman says the contractor's team is working hard to meet their October 30th deadline and possibly even sooner.
We're progressing well. It's just we really need to get into the intersection. So I apologize to obviously the public for the traffic congestion we're going to cause with this, but building a roundabout's not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of concrete work within the roundabout, and a lot underground itself, and a lot of grading. So it's just we're trying to get a good jump on it, so we're not pouring concrete in November.
With the overpass to Marina Park now closed, all traffic to the waterfront will have to use the Pearl Street entrance to get in and out. As a result of the big change in vehicle flow, Newman says the city is making adjustments to the traffic lights at Pearl and Water Street.
Because we more or less shut back at Camelot Street, the Pearl Street intersection will see a lot more traffic. So we'll adjust the timing. So it'll be a lot more lead time heading down Fort Yonge Road or Water Street. And we'll kind of monitor things how they go.
Newman is urging drivers to obey all road closure signs as he realizes traffic on Water Street will be much more congested than usual due to the various other projects in the area happening at the same time. Crews are monitoring the situation during the busier times of the day and will do their best to make necessary adjustments during this time.
So stuff like that's going to make it even more congested. So we're trying to get people retrained. So with this shutdown happening now, people start altering their routes to work or where their direction or where they happen to be going. So this is a thing that had to happen. I'm glad it's finally happened. So you see a lot of activity here today, which is a big thing for us.
Newman says it's imperative to get as much work done as they can before temperatures start to dip in the fall. Until then, construction crews appreciate the public's patience. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Martin Falls and Webequie First Nations have taken the first steps toward Indigenous-led development in the Ring of Fire. The two communities performed a ceremony in the remote Esker Lake area this past weekend to mark a turning point in their united approach. Webequie Chief Cornelius Wabas and Martin Falls Chief Bruce Ashney-Penescum were joined by elders and other members of the two communities to take down a teepee they had raised there last year. The ceremony symbolizes a new phase in their partnership and emphasizes the importance of Indigenous-led planning and respectful collaboration. Mining company Wailu also attended to show support, saying they recognize the need for continued consultation. The First Nations stress that development must honor their ancestral connection to the land and follow their laws and governance.
All the things that we do, they have to have ceremony in order for, for better things to happen for our communities. And we look forward to, benefiting from whatever's going to happen in our territory. We're very glad that we were able to come to the Esker camp and, do that ceremony. And we hope that in the near future, this will be, the prosperity for our communities.
Even though we're working with a mining company, we care for our environment, and so if there's any potential mining in the future, we want to make sure that any development after effects of mining is kept to a minimum, and there's a mitigation on environmental pollution and all that. So it's important for us to keep that in mind as we move forward.
The two First Nations also call on the federal and provincial governments to fulfill their duty to consult. They say it was important to hold this ceremony to ensure development moves forward in a positive way. There's been another transport crash on Highway 102 west of Thunder Bay. OPP are investigating the single vehicle collision which occurred just before 10 o'clock this morning. Photos and video posted on social media show the tractor trailer overturned and badly damaged. OPP say the two occupants suffered minor injuries. A Manitoba man has been charged with careless driving. The crash destroyed some electrical transformers, leaving about 925 customers without power. Officials with Hydro One say service was restored by around 2 o'clock this afternoon. The eastbound lane along the roadway was closed for much of the day, while emergency responders, hydro crews, and tow trucks dealt with the aftermath. A teenage musical prodigy from Thunder Bay has recently been accepted to a prestigious musical arts boarding school. 16-year-old Grace Lee is a gifted young cellist and has earned an invite to the Interlochen Center for the Arts in Michigan. She's been playing the cello for 8 years and most recently attended Superior Collegiate. Lee was chosen by the school thanks to her remarkable skill and dedication to the instrument. She says she's looking forward to attending a dedicated arts academy where she can continue her passion for music, learn from other talented artists, and help max out her potential.
So this is an arts boarding school, so it's not just for music. There is theater, dance, opera, composing. And I'm very excited to go, actually. I didn't think that I would get in at all, but I did, so I'm going to give it a go. Looking forward to really like being surrounded by some of the best musicians, because I've never had that here in Thunder Bay, to like learn from them and grow alongside them.
After nearly 2 years without a nearby convenience store, the Lappy area is about to see a brand new outlet for residents and campers to shop at. It's called the Store on 591. The original Lappy Store on Highway 589 closed its doors in 2023. Since then, the Lappy community hasn't had a place close to home to pick up snacks, alcohol, and other items. But this new store can be found just a few kilometers away on Highway 591. Owner Wayne Moulogne says it will have everything a country store needs, but there will also be a suggestion list in case they missed anything that residents would like them to bring in.
It's basically the same as what Lappy stores had. We'll have ice cream, we'll have basically what a convenience store would have. And if people need something else, we'll have a suggestion list and they can add to the list. We're going to put live bait in. We got propane coming, exchange tanks. We'll have ice, kind of the regular convenience or country store sort of thing, and hopefully a country store atmosphere.
The grand opening for the store on 591 will be held next Tuesday. All right, let's turn our attention to the weather now. And Haley, it was not a bad day temperature-wise out there. It did get a little bit gray. Clouds were rolling in, and saw a few showers late this afternoon as well.
Yeah, they were very brief and sporadic around the city, but the humidex is really playing a factor, right? You're getting that moisture in the air. You're feeling the air pressure. And yes, we had a high of 23 today, which is very normal and around seasonal. But with the humidex, it felt like 29. So even if you didn't see that brief shower late this afternoon, it was mostly cloudy for the most part, and you were feeling the moisture in the air for sure. I know the humidex definitely makes it feel kind of sticky at times. And even last night, we didn't even drop that low temperature-wise either. We were expecting a low around 12, but we only reached a low of 15 at around 5 this morning. Winds were fairly light today as well, from the east predominantly, but briefly from the south with a little gust around 3 this afternoon. But for the most part, fairly light. As for the region, we are going to be seeing more rain rolling in. This was what we saw on our radar today as it moved from the southwest inwards. And so yes, it's just passing through Thunder Bay within the next few hours and moving east in the region. But it also won't be the last that we see of showers this week, as there is more predicted. We'll get to that a little later though. As we'll see in Red Lake, they're mostly cloudy right now. Their temperatures also didn't drop very much overnight. They saw a fairly warm day, a high of 22, with the humidex making it feel 6 degrees hotter there. But for a lot of the region, their humidex today made it feel 7 or 8 degrees hotter. So a significant jump in what it felt like today for sure. And Red Lake is under an air quality warning as well. They've been seeing lots of smoke. They saw some light rain around 3 o'clock. That has now subsided for now. But once again, like I mentioned, there could be more coming, and that's the case for Fort Frances as well. They're at 26, and their humidex makes it feel more like 34 or 35, so very hot as well. And they could be seeing more showers later on tonight. But right now, areas to the east are starting to see that first wave of precipitation within the day. Greenstone's getting it right now. They had clouds on and off throughout the day, coming in and out of the area, but now seeing some light showers. And they've seen some winds from the south-southwest today, gusty at times, around 42 kilometers an hour at certain points. Nipigon is one of the areas that has stayed a little cooler today. They're just at 17 right now. They did have a high of 21 earlier, but their winds have been coming from the south-southeast as of much of the eastern areas on our map here. But that has made them a little bit cooler and calmer for most of the day, although Wawa's now at 24, warming up there. Obviously the Humidex a few degrees in that area, making it feel a little hotter. And Sault Ste. Marie 23 with mostly cloudy skies, and that's what they've been seeing for most of the day. As for Thunder Bay tonight, we will be cloudy with a 70% chance of showers or thunderstorms. We're getting that air pressure moving around and causing a little bit of havoc for sure, and a low of 18. So like I said, it's feeling hot, it's feeling sticky. I was talking to Riley Cohen last night about how important fans are around the house these days, Ryan, because I know at night, when it's that hot, you can really feel it. So anything you can do to keep cool at night is always important.
Yeah, that is good advice, and I'm sure a lot of people will be cranking up the fans.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, Haley.